Hello and welcome. My name is Buman, and today I'm going to talk to you about an issue that many Americans pay very little attention to, and many politicians put very low on their priority list. However, this is an issue that affects nearly 3.5 million American citizens who live on a small island in the Caribbean right here called Puerto Rico. The issue at hand is the question of Puerto Rico's political affiliated future. Currently, they are a Commonwealth territory of the United States, and this has caused them many problems over the years. And so they've been trying to decide what to do now about that. There was a recent referendum held to decide what to do, and the three options were become the 51st state of the United States, remain a Commonwealth territory, or become independent as their own country. Now, throughout American history, as the country gradually expanded and added new chunks of land, these new chunks of land were divided up and their fates were decided relatively quickly. Most became states, however some, like Cuba and the Philippines, were actually granted independence, so it can go either way. But the point is that their options were figured out and decided very quickly, whereas Puerto Rico has been a territory of the United States for well over 100 years, and its status is still undecided. So, in that recent referendum, the majority of respondents in Puerto Rico chose statehood as their option. Now, the arguments in favor of statehood for Puerto Rico is that it would improve the Puerto Rican government by tying them to a large, strong country and economy. Their government right now does not run very well. It's very inefficient, has lots of issues, and becoming a state would essentially allow them to rewrite their entire constitution and fix a lot of the problems they already have. Another benefit of becoming a state for Puerto Rico is lowering their crippling public debt crisis. According to the Washington Post, Puerto Rico currently has an outstanding public debt of over $70 billion, and this is completely unpayable for their government, and it prevents them from providing basic services and investing in infrastructure and paying pensions and stuff that are owed to the islanders. Becoming a state would also boost the Puerto Rican economy. As I said, tying their economy to the U.S. economy would provide benefits both ways. It would unlock massive amounts of investment and capital flow into the island by other Americans, because it would break down the economic barriers that are there now. And it would improve things like the unemployment problem in Puerto Rico. According to the Stanford Daily, for example, right now the unemployment rate in Puerto Rico is 12.2% compared to 5% in the United States. Another benefit of statehood would be increased tax revenues for both the federal government and the Puerto Rican government, because for the federal government, they already collect some taxes from Puerto Ricans, but if they became a full-fledged state, they would collect all the normal taxes that they get from all Americans living in the 50 states. So that would provide more money for the federal government, which can obviously need it. And the Puerto Rican government would especially get more money, because by getting their debt crisis fixed and getting federal assistance, they would be able to provide more infrastructure for their own people and invest more money into the island. And as I said, joining the United States and being a state would also boost their economy. This would also unlock more tax revenue streams for Puerto Rico, because if their people are making more, they can tax them more. Puerto Rico would also finally be able to vote for president and be represented in Congress. Currently, right now, even though they are legal American citizens and have been for over 100 years, Puerto Ricans cannot actually vote for president and have their votes counted. They can vote, but they don't have any electoral votes, so basically their votes don't really matter. They also have no representation in Congress, yet they have to obey the laws of the federal government. So it's kind of like the old taxation without representation thing. They have to obey all the laws of a government that they have no part of, basically. And joining the U.S. as a state would fix that. It would also just generally raise the standard of living for Puerto Rico and give their residents more opportunities, because boosting their economy, being able to vote for the higher up government and all this stuff would help to stem the flow of people out of Puerto Rico, because right now lots of well-educated, smart people leave Puerto Rico to go to the U.S. mainland for better economic opportunities. So keeping them here and giving the government more money with increased tax revenues and stuff like that, and allowing them to reinvest in the island would increase the standard of living for Puerto Ricans by allowing them to make more money and do more things with their money. Because as you can see right here, according to this graph from Data USA, the median household income in the United States is about $56,000 a year, whereas in Puerto Rico it's about $18,000. So as you can see, becoming a state and becoming a complete part of this economic system would increase the median income in Puerto Rico, thus giving their residents more opportunities and a better quality of life. In conclusion, Puerto Rico needs to be helped, and they deserve our attention because they really don't get very much attention from us. They have served our country in all the wars that we've been in since they've been a territory of ours, and we're partially responsible for the bad economic situation there. Mismanagement both by the Puerto Rican government and the U.S. federal government have contributed to their current economic crisis. And as Americans who respect democracy and the will of the people, we should respect the Puerto Ricans' decision in their recent referendum to choose statehood and to give themselves a better life. Thank you.